All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Merkakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, time of this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom, the Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Now, this lesson is going into, you have this whole thing that happened with Dr. Fauci and the V. All right, and see, the true men of the Lord, all right, was telling, all right, the nation of Israel not to receive the V, man. All right, while you had these other camps, all right, false prophets telling Jake to receive the V, the men of the Lord was saying not to receive it. All right, and they were also going into how that the V was a prelude to what? To the mark of the beast, the micro C-hip. All right, that Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, is going to want inside every man, woman, and child. All right, he's going to bring forward this cashless society, a digital currency, where your purchases, your payments, your buying and selling are going to be done digitally, cashlessly through a micro C-hip that they're going to want inside you, man. And just like during the time of the C19, all right, and they was pushing the V, you couldn't go to this restaurant, you couldn't go to this bar, you couldn't get this job, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you couldn't travel without having the V. All right, guess what? That was a temptation unto the people. All right, and the people that took the V, that's because they fell for the temptation. Well, we're coming into the true hour of temptation. All right, Revelation 3:10. All right, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Just like when those people, all right, was taking the V because they wanted to get back to some type of normalcy, it's going to be the same thing now. All right, it's going to be the same thing now. All right, when Esau introduced this micro C-hip, man, all right, and you're X'd out of his society unless you give in unto this digital technological slave world, man, people are going to want to receive the V so they could get back. I mean, they're going to want to receive the micro C-hip, the MARK of the beast. Okay. All right. So they could get back to what? To comfort, man. All right. So they could get back to comfort. Now, I want to get this in the book of Romans chapter 13. I want to get this real quick. This is the book of Romans chapter 13, verse 1. It says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation, man. Now, this comes with a balance, all right? Because we understand that the powers, the rulers, are all ordained by the Lord. The scriptures say the Lord setteth up kings and remove kings. All right, see, Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, is in power because the Lord put him in power. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, wherein we see the scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, the scriptures say the earth is by who? By the Lord. The Lord put Esau over the earth. And see, and this is why we understand that we're not supposed to take up arms and try to fight against this devil carnally. No, the scriptures say, wait ye upon me until I rise up unto the prey. All right, see, our job is to preach this word unto the return of the Lord. We're not supposed to get rifles and ammunitions and create these militias and try to rebel against. No, the Lord set Esau over us, man. And we're supposed to subject ourselves unto this devil, unto what? To the return of the Lord. Now, I'm bringing this out because this all comes with balance. Because we understand that that the Lord was telling Jake during the time of Nebuchadnezzar that they need to bow down themselves to Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. All right? The scriptures even call Nebuchadnezzar the servant of the Lord. Because we understand that these heathens are tools of the Lord, man. All right, tools for the Lord to bring judgment. And the same thing, Esau is we got to understand. Let's get Psalm chapter 17, verse 13. It says, arise, O Lord, Yahweh Shai. Disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, Esau Edom. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, the children of Edom, which is thy sword. You see, which is thy sword, man. This is why when you read about Nebuchadnezzar, the scriptures call Nebuchadnezzar the Lord's servant. All right, Because the Lord has set Nebuchadnezzar over in power, man. The Lord gave Nebuchadnezzar his kingdom, all right, and used Nebuchadnezzar to bring judgment, man. And the same thing for Esau. The Lord has set Esau over us, man. All right. And the Lord is going to use Esau to bring forward this judgment. And for a time, all right, we're supposed to subject ourselves unto the rulership of Edom. We're not supposed to rebel and try to get a militia and get ammunition and try to fight against this devil carnally. No, the scriptures say, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, until I rise up. Okay. We understand we're not supposed to try to fight this devil carnally, but we're supposed to submit ourselves unto the ordained power that the Lord set over the earth. All right. But see, I bring this out because it comes with violence. I mean, it comes with balance, because when the Lord was telling Jake to submit to Nebuchadnezzar, what did you have? This is the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. And see, when you also think about what the same thing during the time of the Roman Empire, man. All right, you had them come to Yahweh Shai and speaking about the taxation, you know, and Yahweh Shai said whose I believe he said whose inscription or superscription is on the penny. All right, and they said Caesar. Okay. And the Lord said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar. So we're supposed to subject ourselves to Esau, you know, pay taxes and all these certain things, man. But it's to a certain extent, it's balance, which we're going to go into. So this is Daniel chapter 3. All right. Because the true men of the Lord was saying not to receive that V, man. All right. And now and they're still prophesying of what? Of the micro-Sihip. All right. The true hour of temptation, and not to receive that thing even unto death, because Esau is finna present this micro-Sihip, man. And we understand that we are not to receive this thing even unto death, man. All right. Yeah, we were supposed to, you know, work these jobs in this man's kingdom and pay taxes and all these. But when this devil bring forth the micro-Sihip, all right, we finna read. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar has set up, man. You see, now according to the scriptures, we're supposed to subject ourselves to the rulers, all right, the powers that be, because we understand that they're ordained of the Lord. The Lord set Nebuchadnezzar over our people, man. All right. And the Lord told Judah, the kings of Judah, to bow down themselves to Nebuchadnezzar. And if they wouldn't, how the Lord was going to bring judgment, man. All right. And Esau was set over our people. And we're not supposed to try to get a militia and fight against this devil carnally, because the Lord will use Esau to bring judgment upon us, man. Because we're supposed to submit ourselves to the will of the Lord. Esau being in power is a part of the will of the Lord. All right. But see, when these devils try to come, all right, and try to separate us from the Lord and try to make us worship idols, and you know, that's when the line gets drawn, man. All right. That's when all right. And these are the times that we're in. And this is why the scriptures say, let me get this real quick before I continue, in Isaiah 10 and 20. All right. Let me get this in Isaiah 10 and 20. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. And when you go into that word stay, it goes into to lean on, to depend on, to trust in, man. Because at one point in time, all right, and even now, we have to still depend on this devil and his system, man. The jobs, all right, the food markets and the stores, and all right. But it says, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, the Holy One of Israel and truth. And these are the times that we're in, the times that we're fastly approaching, man. All right, well, we're gonna have to fully depend on the Lord, because Esau's gonna bring forward this micro C-hip. You won't be able to buy. You won't be able to sell. You won't be able to get access to his society and, you know, his system without having this micro C-hip, man. All right. And we are not to receive this thing even unto death. All right. We're going to have to put our trust and faith in the Lord, which when we go back to Daniel 3, right, it says, verse 6, and whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psalter, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Wherefore, at the time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psalter, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worship it, that he should be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at the time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psalter, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? You see, so now this nigga getting proud. All right. But guess what? They were, we're gonna read it. It says, let me actually drop down. Verse 18, it says, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. So it's a balance, man. All right. We're supposed to subject ourselves and submit ourselves to the rulers. All right. Okay. But when it comes to this devil trying to push us into rebellion against the Heavenly Father, that's where the line gets drawn, man. All right. And these are the times that we're in. OK, so when we're reading Romans 13, yeah, we got to pay taxes and follow the laws that this devil set up. And, you know, but when this devil start trying to, once again, the true men of the Lord was saying not to take the V, not to put that inside you, man, saying it's a prelude to what? To the mark of the beast, the micro C-hip. All right. And these are the times that we're in now, the true hour of temptation. And the men of the Lord are warning the house of Israel not to receive it. And these are the times that we're in, man. All right. These are the times that we're in. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. It says, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive an mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Just like how Nebuchadnezzar, he caused it all to bow down to the image, right? But you had certain Jews that was like, we're not going to worship your gods, man. Okay, it's the same thing now. All right. Yeah, we had to subject ourselves, you know, follow the law of the land, pay taxes and do, you know. But when this devil start pushing, you know, the digital, you know, the AI, his religion, his, you know, his philosophy, his wine. All right. The rebellion against the Heavenly Father. That's where the lines get drawn, man. All right. It says, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive an mark in their right hands and their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. The time we're coming into, Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, the ordained ruler, of the earth, the Lord has put Esau in power. All right. And for a time, we were to subject ourselves unto him. All right. But see, when this devil pushed this micro C hip, we are not to receive this thing even unto death, man. All right. That's what the scriptures go into. All right. Just like how the Lord commanded Jake to bow down to Nebuchadnezzar the king. But when he set up that idol and told Jake said, no, we're not doing that. All right. It's the same thing. Okay. It's the exact same thing, man. Okay. So Khan, and these are the times that we're in. And let me get Revelation 20 to back up. Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Because we understand that what the dead shall be raised incorruptible, man. All right. But the point is that they didn't receive this thing even unto death. They didn't worship the beast, the image, that they didn't receive, the micro C hip. All right. And whether it was in their hand, their head, wherever, they didn't receive it even unto death. All right. The scriptures speak about being faithful even unto death. These are the times that we're in, man. All right. You see them Jews that didn't bow down to the image that never, they were going to be faithful even unto death, man. They said they said, basically, if the Lord, it's up to the Lord if he deliver us or not. All right. But we not finna worship your God, man. Even if you throw us into the fiery furnace, it's up to the Lord if he deliver us or not. But we not finna worship your God, man. And that's the same spirit that we got to be in these last days, man. All right. Whether it's unto death, whether we live or die, we not finna take this micro C hip. We not finna give in unto Esau, the beast, the image, the name, the market, We not finna, okay? These are the times that we're in, So let's get this. Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Well, I quoted this already. But that's really the point, That's really the point. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to close it out. Getting infinite praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, time of this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the whole full elect. Shalom.